Yo, what's up, dudes? It's your boy Scotty Smoothman, and the first video on the channel is going to be our first episode of our UFC 5 career mode, man, where we're going to try, of course, to grind all the way to GOAT status. We will be on legendary difficulty. This is the character I just kind of went through, built them out. We are going to be running a kickboxer, but throughout our just UFC career, we're also going to be implementing some ground game. Obviously, we want to make sure that we can defend ourselves on the ground as well. There's a lot of good wrestlers in the UFC, you know, some of the best in the world. So, of course, we're going to want to make sure we have that, but this is going to be just kind of a straight through gameplay, man. We're going to be going into like maybe the intricacies behind the career mode itself, what to look for, give you guys some tips as well throughout the gameplay. I was ranked on UFC 4, I think ranked maybe like top 500 or something like that, so maybe nothing too crazy, but I have a little bit of experience playing these games, and hopefully as we're going through progressing our career mode, we can really build our character up to make it really easy towards the end of our career, even in the middle of our career there. So I have everything set up again. We're gonna go with the kickboxing style. Now, with this as well, like the word kickboxer to me kind of stands like it feels like a stand and bang type, but we're going to be kind of keeping our distance, picking our opponents apart, and we're going to be kind of implementing more so of like a karate style approach to it versus like a straight, more like, you know, Alex Pereira, get in your face, throw kicks, punches. We're going to be a little bit more on the outside. And we are going to be in the lightweight division as well at 5'11", so we're going to be a little bit of a taller lightweight, and hopefully that'll kind of help get our distance, kind of allow us to keep our range. And we're going to be focusing more so on speed and movement throughout this as well. Power will come, but speed and movement are going to be really important in the initial stage. So, of course, we're going to throw career difficulty on legendary. And, you know, of course, it's going to drop us to simulation game style, which is going to be a little bit different than what I'm used to. I haven't played on legendary difficulty yet, so this is going to be the first time I'm playing legendary. And obviously, we are right off the rip pretty bad, just statistic-wise fighter. I know some of the kickboxing moves. I'll give you guys some of my favorite combos as well throughout the gameplay as we're playing, but we're going to jump right into it, man. We got the backyard battles, and hopefully we can come out with the knockout here. But as I mentioned, we're going to be using our kicks a lot, keeping our range, distance, picking our shots. Because stamina is going to play a huge effect, especially in the simulation mode. There's no HUD, and your stamina is more realistic, so we got to get used to that. We also might jump a little bit more to some online play, like after we get through the career. And I guess when we do this, we'll probably do maybe like 3-4 fights an episode. I want to keep them around like 30 minutes long, so they're not too long. We'll definitely get you guys some good content out there, and hopefully give you guys some tips as I'm going through this. So, all right, here we go, bro. All right, starting off with a head kick. I don't really know the difficulty of these guys, like, off the rip. I'm gonna implement this head kick a lot, if not the whole time. Because, like, this thing right here is such a good, like, quick counter. Look at that. Front kick level 2 already. Hook kick. What is going on, man? Like, this dude's done, like, for now. Lead hook kick, like, that actually might be a good way to start to build up your skills, bro. I could have thrown some body shots, some body hooks, and maybe progressed that a little bit higher, but that was really easy. You know, we just threw some head kicks. Even though we dropped him like 5 times, we probably should have knocked him out a little bit sooner, but hey, we're on legendary difficulty, so maybe their knockout chances is slim compared to non. But there we go, man. Knockout. And also, as we play this, I'll probably like hide my screen for the knockouts, like that. You know, that way I'll hide my face. That way you guys can actually see it full screen, so my big ass ugly head isn't in the way or anything like that. And then let me know in the comments below if you guys have played UFC 5. You know, even you might be playing and watching at the same time. Like, that's something that I used to do all the time, is I used to have like a YouTube video up or something, like, as I'm playing, just to like kind of, you know, brainlessly play the game, but still like focus on other stuff too. So all right, so we didn't even get touched once, so we'll take that. Didn't even get touched once. One thing we're gonna have to watch is our what do they call it, longevity, I guess, throughout the gameplay as well, because we want to fight as long as we can, but we want to make sure that we're not getting KO'd left and right. You have completed the career onboarding. Would you like to skip career amateur fights? I'm going to say no. Typically, in this case, I would say yes. However, we're on legendary mode. We have not really built our character up enough to fight UFC high-level competition. So we're going to jump into WFA. We're going to go in, and I don't really need the tutorials. I will play the cutscenes for you guys if you want to check that out. But when it comes to like the actual like fights and stuff, the weekly trainings, we're gonna cut that out. We're probably just gonna try to stand and bank for the most part, man. And you know, we might throw a little bit of wrestling defense in there, a little bit of bottom game grappling, but primarily we're gonna be on our feet, trying to KO people left and right. You can be fat as like that just by throwing the same shit over. I like how we got this like sad music in the background too. Like, nothing gets me more amped to punch someone in the face than this background music.
Yes, sir. Right. All right.
All right, so it's gonna take us through some tutorials. I'll probably skip this part so you guys don't have to see this. I mean, maybe I'll add some things, but we're gonna cut this part out because you guys probably don't want to watch me punch a bag, right? And I guess the layout of these videos, as I'm going through this process, is we're gonna, as I mentioned, try to keep them maybe like 30-40 minutes long each, and I want to at least get three fights in, probably 4. Actually, now we'll probably say 3 fights in each episode. And then when it comes to like the training, like this part, we'll cut out like there might be some, you know, important tips that you guys can maybe get from this, but we're probably gonna cut this stuff out for the most part. So just giving you guys a heads up on that. We'll get 3 fights in here again. We're going into the WFA first. That way it gives us some time to really build our character up, so when we do prepare, make sure we're prepared for the UFC, we can go in and kind of handle business. This is a good way not to only get kind of familiar with the new controls. Controls are pretty much similar, but there are a couple different things.
You're right.
It's also going to help get you more fighter evolution points, which will allow us to really increase our attributes, because that's what we're going to need to do before we just jump right in and start fighting some high-level competition. So we finally got through that like stand-up, I guess, tutorial session. And kind of as I'm playing, you know, we're going to look at it, and as I mentioned, you know, when our style's going to be more karate, kind of like an old school McGregor style. We're going to keep our distance. We have our first like underground fight, I guess, or not first, we just literally just did one. We're going to keep our distance, bro. We do have, it is a legendary, so I don't know why there's a HUD. Maybe it's because we're like in this kind of like not sanctioned fight, I guess. But we're going to probably destroy this dude really quick here. I'm going to be throwing a lot of head kicks, a lot of like front kicks, because it allows me to counter quite a bit, which is nice. I can counter from range, and it's quick. And then when we focus on our fighter evolution points, I'll kind of bring you guys through that process as well, just because, you know, that way you know like what I'm leveling my guy up for, or my fighter, because we're going to be doing a lot of movement speed, a lot of just punch kick speed, because I mean, that's just the route I want to take with it. You guys can go power, of course, if you want. Focus more so on that, but I'm going to be more so like speed, in and out, picking my shots, picking my opponents apart. You know, that's really what we're going to be trying to implement in our game plans. Nice little combo there. This dude trying to throw like a head kick or something. Bro, back. Oh, that was a nice one. Back up against the cage, like you know, we got to take advantage of that. Like, look at that. You know, there's nothing this guy can do at this point. We're really gonna be kind of like changing it up too. You know, like you can see we're going head body. You know, maybe throw a leg kick in there. And I know this is early, so like the competition's gonna suck, but this is just a good way to kind of get our combos down and really understand how our fighter works. You know, you see a lot of these players online. They're like, oh, they're the best Conor McGregor fighter, the best Nate Diaz fighter, because they know their combos to a T. And you know, this just helps us get our combos down with our fighter there. So nice little front head kick, knock down. Probably gonna knock him out again with it. I mean, this is like just we're just spamming the front kick at this point. Front kick level 3. If you guys do recall in UFC 4, they made like it to where if you use the moves in fight, it actually increases that move's attributes. So we're going to be using that front kick a lot. Hopefully we can get that to a level 5 by the time we get to the UFC. If not, that's fine. But we are already at level 3, and we're using the hell out of this thing. So there we go. Action live, first knockout. Not, again, WFA yet, so we're going to hopefully get there, I think, in maybe like a couple fights. I probably won't take you guys through like those underground sanctioned fights. We're going to jump into the WFA, or I guess not, whatever, I don't know. We're going to jump into the WFA here, give you guys a couple fights there, go through the weekly trainings together, and kind of show that gameplay instead. So we made it to the UFC PI, the Performance Institute, man. And we got through, though, I think there was like 3 fights of like just the ones that I just showed you guys. So pretty easy, man. Just knocked them out like first round, like within the first like 2 minutes of the fight. But it really just is like the tutorial process, showing you guys how to block, strike, ground, grapple, whatever, clinch moves. And now I think we're in it, man. I think we're actually into the career mode, into the story. Of course, we're starting with WFA, and then we'll grind our way up to UFC. But we got Valentina showing up, making an appearance as well for PI.
I'm Valentina. Nice to meet you.
So, Valentina, the therapy pool. You think I might be able to get in there?
I think we can figure out something.
He just wants to get in the pool with Valentina, bro. That's what my boy Coach Davis wants to do, man. Contract earned, Dana White Contender Series. All right. F the WFA, I guess. I mean, I think we might be in that after the Contender Series fight. So let's jump into it, man. I know kind of the menu, the HUD is pretty much the same as what it was before in the UFC 4, where you have your fight offer, you have your contract bonuses. This page right here is very similar, if not almost the same, just maybe some color differences here. So we have Pedro Jimenez, lightweight, not ranked, obviously not ranked. You know, we're in the Contender Series. We're going to max it out, bro. We're going to go into 4 weeks of training camp. And again, as I mentioned, like up until we get to the UFC, we're going to be focusing primarily on Muay Thai, boxing, maybe some ground game. But when it comes to like jiu-jitsu, we're not going to be really submitting people. We're going to be looking for the KO. Interacting with fellow fighters is a good idea. Yep, we know that. That way you can learn their moves. So that's also something that UFC 4 had. We have the hype section. Watch tape. Probably won't be spending a lot of time in here. I'm really going to be focusing on sparring and the hype section. Maybe invite a fighter if we really want to move that we're looking to take from them, or for them to train us on. So we're going to max out our hype because we want to start kind of building our hype up a little bit. I know that a training session is 40 weekly points. Of course, if you guys know, you have a certain amount of points that you can use each week for training, for hyping up, obviously watching tape, and inviting a fighter. So in this case, we're going to spar. But I do also want to point out at the very top there, that fighter evolution, I'm not like pointing at his nipple or anything, where it says 282 up there, that was like 30 before we did the tutorial. So definitely do that, man. You're gonna make sure it'll make sure that you're getting your guy leveled up as fast as possible, so that way you can make your fights a lot easier. So as I'm looking at these, man, they're really, the only boost we're getting is overhands. Spinning kicks, I don't have any spinning kicks yet, so I think we're gonna probably focus a little bit on the overhands here, just because we can level up our overhands. We're probably going to spam that in the training. Again, probably going to cut this part out because you don't really need to see this, but that's also something I'm looking for when I'm deciding which training section to do, is going to be based off of what moves are going to get a boost when you're fighting it towards the end. One thing we do have to keep in mind as well, when we're in this in the practice or in the training, we don't want to get knocked out or rocked or cut or anything, because, and I mean, this is legendary difficulty. My guy is terrible right now when it comes to just attributes points. My health is bad, so the likelihood of me getting KO'd is pretty high, and that's going to cost you some fighter evolution points. So just make sure that you know, you're playing it safe even in the practice, because we don't want to take one from our fighter evolution points, and two, we don't want to take anything away from our weekly points that we get, because the weekly points you're going to have to use to recover. So a little bit of realism there, I guess, in a way. But this guy, I mean, our overhands are what we get a 45% evolution bonus to. So I'm kind of throwing it here and there. Like, I don't want to get caught with anything stupid. because again, we are on legendary mode and my chin is like a 1-star right now. So we're just kind of playing it slow, throwing overhands here and there, hopefully to connect them, but we're not really spamming it too much because we don't want to get absolutely rocked, which we are almost getting ourselves into there. All right, cool. We're good there. But as I mentioned, guys, just even be careful in the sparring sessions because you will have to use your weekly points to recover. You will also have to use some of your fighter evolution points to get your health back up. And you know, before the fights, we'll also go. That's when I upgrade my character. That way, if I do need to use some fighter evolution points to increase like my chin back to where it was before, then I'll have enough for that. But I mean, we're at 286 right now, so right before this contender series fights, we're gonna max that out. We're gonna throw it in, and I'll take you guys into this section here. Of course, recommend every week you just come in here, post on the social media hype, just to get that fight hype up. That's gonna get you more money, more like I think fight opportunities. Probably it's gonna maybe rank you quicker. I'm not exactly sure the intricacies behind that, but right here we're gonna again focus on boxing and Muay Thai. We have the calf kicks, leg kicks, and then we have the jabs. I think I'm gonna be more like, I guess I'm gonna do both of them, but I think right now we're gonna do the jab because I feel like we're gonna be more maybe punch heavy versus throwing leg kicks. We'll probably, you know, we're gonna implement some leg kicks in there as well, but we're gonna be a little bit more punch heavy, a little bit more jab. At least the jabs. I like the jab. Having a quick good jab is gonna be important. So when you evade strikes, you can literally just move your stick around like this. It's gonna drain your stamina, but it's also gonna give you your oh shoot, it's gonna give you those evades as well. All right, so now we got the jab, which is actually a lot better than the overhand because like I feel like the jab's quicker. It gives you gives your opponent like less open like shots to rock you, bro. But so we're just gonna pepper him up with jabs the rest of the sparring session. So I won't keep you guys long this whole time, but take advantage of those evolution bonuses, bro. Okay, take advantage of those because you're going to level up your moves a lot faster if you do that. Also, you want to make sure you don't knock your opponent out as well or your training partner because then you won't be able to use them the rest of the fight camp. So don't knock them out. You know, once you get even better, like your power, your speed obviously is going to be good. But if you knock your training partner out, then they will not be available the rest of the training camp. We learned that the hard way. So don't do that. Don't knock them out. Or try not to, at least. All right, guys, so we got our first injury in the sparring session for Muay Thai. So we could either do the treatment, which is going to cost, what do we need? We need, I guess it's for multiple things, bro. 50 total points that it's going to take, which is kind of a bummer because we can't finish out this last week. Right before the contender series, I guess second to last week, we can't continue this training. We're gonna have to just rest it. So let's just rest it. It's gonna take us into the next week where we do have 95 points left for the week. So of course we're gonna go back into it here, finish out this training camp, and then we're gonna give you guys the fight. But before, we're gonna just check out here, man. We have either pretty much the overhand that I'm looking at to the right there, or some hook kicks, calf kicks. So I think we're going to end up going Muay Thai in this case. We have 85 points for the rest for the week, so we actually cannot do more than one of these, which is kind of a bummer if you add them up. So we might as well just go ahead. We're going to go into the Muay Thai. Again, you got to be careful with that because you can get rocked. And like that, it's a pretty big, pretty major setback, I guess, where you can actually get pretty far behind in the training if you get hurt in one of these camps. And since we're on, you know, legendary difficulty, that's making it a lot easier or a lot harder for us to kind of manage. So gotta be a little bit more patient with it instead of just freaking spamming stuff throughout the sparring sessions here. Now we're gonna we have 35 points left. We can't really do anything else. We don't have any hype, can't invite a fighter, can't do sparring, so we might as well watch tape. Like, we might as well use those weekly points up. I would definitely say, especially in the early stages, I would go into sparring just because you're gonna get the most out of that. So you want to get as many points as you can as soon as you can. So we're gonna watch a little bit of tape on this guy, and we're gonna see what we can check out. So right now he is a 4-star overall kickboxer. Top moves, attributes, tendencies. So it's gonna actually give us a little bit of an idea of what this fighter does based on style initially. So kickboxer, top moves, boxing, it looks like. I mean, like, this doesn't really give me too much. I mean, it gives me the body roundhouse and the leg kick, but when it comes to the combinations, like what he uses his hands, kickboxing, Muay Thai, knees, his feet, like, I don't really know. If we had enough, obviously we'd be able to see the attributes and tendencies. Attributes would be a really good one to see because it's going to give you like where the weaknesses are at. This doesn't really give me his weaknesses, more so just like what this fighter is going to do. And I can already get that just based off the style. Like, I just assumed that all of these top moves were to be used, but oh well, whatever. We didn't really lose anything there, so we could just go ahead and take it to the last week, which is going to be the one that that's going to get us to the fight. So Coach Davis, hit us up. If you want the UFC contract, you better be ready to send your opponent home early. We'll go ahead, we'll reply to that. And then a couple things that I'd like to just double check. Social media, obviously we're not going to really see much initially, but as we get more and more into it, that can help build up your hype, because you're going to have fighters calling at you out, talking shit to you, and you're gonna be able to respond to them. Yeah, our fitness is moderate, which is kind of a bummer just because we got that injury. Again, definitely we'll take a hit to that. It's gonna make our stamina a little bit slower, so we know that going into the fight. We're gonna go into the fighter evolution section, and we're gonna start to upgrade a few things. First thing I'm definitely gonna upgrade a little bit is our chin strength, because right now our chin strength and cardio are kind of very freaking important. When it comes to that cut resistance, we might as well upgrade this a little bit, maybe to 2 stars. Have more like kind of balanced health, I guess, scheme. Of course, we're going to change this up as we go. We're going to get more into each one there. Grappling, we're not going to focus on, but the first thing I'm actually going to do is, instead of putting anything towards our actual attributes, which we will, here we have 210, you guys can see at the top there, we're going to buy a perk, and the perk I'm going to buy is going to be Skirmisher. And what Skirmisher is going to do for us, it's going to give us faster movement while moving backwards. So with this build, obviously we're going to be focusing more on speed, more on distance, range. So I want to be able to get in and get out quick, hit my shots, get back, counter, etc. So Skirmisher is going to be a very important perk to that, to making that happen. So we're also going to upgrade our footwork, because footwork is going to give us very quick feet speed, as you will. We're going to go up to 4 stars on that. Head movement, I'm not going to use as much, but we're going to get our punches up. And I'm going to focus more so on speed again, because that's going to help us just get in and get out quick. Accuracy, we're going to focus on. You know what? I'm even going to bump footwork up to 4.5 stars right there. And then we're going to do kick speed. Definitely want to have some kick speed there. Maybe get punch power up to 3 stars. And then, yeah, we could do kick speed. Let's do kick power. I feel like we're going to be getting a lot of head kick knockouts throughout this gameplay. And then that's pretty much it. Like, we could go increase our clinch, grappling, and striking, but there's really no need to do that. So far, man, this is actually a really good layout, in my opinion. I could, of course, bump up the cut resistance and chin a little bit, and cardio. Probably going to focus on that a little bit more, especially being in a simulation game style. But I'm happy with what we got here, at least going into this first fight. And hopefully we can really kind of use that movement, that speed, to really get in and get out of the pocket, really pick our shots, and hopefully come home with the victory. Here we go, man.
All right. We had a great training camp. You couldn't be more ready for this fight, okay? Just remember everything that we've been working on.
And he's a kickboxer, so we didn't really need to focus too much on grappling or anything there,
read your opponent,
which is nice.
Okay? And stay cool when the shit gets hot.
And since this is the first video, if the audio is a little off, like if you want me to turn down the game audio, then just let me know, man, and I can definitely make those tweaks for the next few episodes or so.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed, and we hope to come back again sometime.
Of course, but win your fight first, okay? Good luck.
I was just
You got
about
a
to tell
5'11" Valentina.
All right.
You got it.
How you feeling? You ready to put on a show?
100%, coach.
All right, it's yours. Let's go get it.
All right, man.
Here we go.
Game plan, obviously, in and out, footwork, movement, pick our shots. Don't get into any freaking, like, brawl. You know, this dude's punch power might be in higher. 6 foot. He has a 72-inch reach, which I do have the reach advantage. But he is 6 foot tall, so it's going to make our movement even more important. So here we go, man. First fight of our UFC career-ish. Do we call that? Does this count? No, I mean, I guess probably not, but already this guy's thrown a lot of combinations, which we did see in the game plan. So, you know, I'm not going to try to counter his one-offs. You know, I'm going to try to counter his combinations, right? So, like, if he's throwing a lot of combos, I'm just going to kind of sit back and wait for him like that, and then maybe hit him in the body once he's done, because his stamina is going to get a little bit lower after he's throwing these combos, especially with this movement, man. If I can make him miss and throw body kicks, I feel like I'm going to be able to really drain his stamina. Oh, he's got the takedown. Okay. All right. Did not see that coming, I got to say. Definitely have to say that. So I'm going to throw some elbows in here just to, like, maybe get the grappling advantage as well. Right when he tries to move or tries to pass guard, I'm going to go ahead and try to get up at that point. Like right there, you know, I don't know if we even denied it or what, but we're up. So now we're going to kind of push, but stay back. Like, that's why the skirmisher perk is so nice to have. Because when I'm moving back, it's almost like I don't know, like lunging back kind of. So that's why I really like this this style. Look at that. I mean, like, he can't even hit me, and he's already like fucking gasping for air, bro. Like, you know, we're just picking him up, hitting his body up. Not getting too flashy with it. Throw a little front kick up the middle. Okay. No need to rush anything, bro. We're just gonna kind of grind this guy out. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna do it to himself. We're gonna make him lose this fight on his own, because he's gonna be having to use a lot of stamina if he's throwing all these combos like this. Trying to get that body knee in there, but there it is. Head kick, body. You guys can see I'm not really like focusing like solely on the head there. We got the takedown defense there. Couple knees, elbows to the body there. But when I rock him in the head, I mean, I could just go for the attack and like attack his head, but I'm gonna have to use that time to really work the body in, kind of switch it up there. That way, it's gonna drain his stamina and it's gonna make his body weaker. So it's gonna make it a little bit easier for us. Put a little uppercut in there. The uppercut animations are kind of weird unless you have them leveled up, I'm guessing. But like, look at that, right? It doesn't even look like I'm throwing it. Takedown defense. And nice little lunge back on his part. Oh, shit. Cracked me there. All right, all right. This guy's throwing a lot of strikes. A lot of strikes. Another one, man. Big elbow. I'm going to stand him up a little bit. I mean, I could take him down there, but... See, that's the negative part. Head kick. That's the negative part about throwing too many strikes. Like, this guy was throwing so many combinations that I knew he was going to get down to that point where I'm sure his stamina was really low. Obviously, we can't see it on legendary difficulty. His stamina is so low to the point where it's just going to be... When he moves back, you know, when you use your head movement, like that's... we're going to hide that real quick so y'all can see that full screen without my big ugly ass head in the mix there, bro. Look at that. But anyway, as I was saying, because then he moves his head back, that's going to drain his stamina even more. So I know after he's coming off like a 3-4 strike combo, and he's lunging back, his stamina's got to be torched at that point. So that's where you really got to capitalize. You know, make sure that that you're using the getting their advantages to be disadvantages, right? Getting them to strike, to throw all those combinations that he knows the advantages that he would have. Use it against him, man. Make him miss, pick him apart, head kick, knockout, bam, first round, see ya. That's all she wrote, bro. That is all she wrote.
What a fight!
Thank you so much.
So anytime you want to come back.
Wow.
You know, honestly,
slow down. I still got a gym to run. We'll be back.
I was thinking like going through WFA and really kind of grinding out those levels, but honestly, man, I think that we're ready, bro. I don't know if it's going to even put us in WFA after that first round knockout. I think it's going to take us straight to UFC, which is great with me, because I feel like our points are at a spot where like I can manage to
So tell me, what are we doing
to fight some of those higher level guys already. Like first fight in. Going forward, we'll probably look to do maybe 3 fights an episode. Might give you guys some tips throughout like the training camp process, stuff like that. Give you guys updates on how we're going to be editing our fighter and increasing that, of course, getting to GOAT status, taking you guys with me through that whole process. I mean, you guys can see, like, look at the total strikes are actually kind of close, man. They're pretty close, bro. The guy did throw 117 total strikes, so we did make him miss a freaking lot, man, which is exactly what our game plan is going to be going forward, pretty much. Like, make him miss, pick our shots, pick our opponents apart, and get the win. Just like that fight. All right, we got a 4-fight contract with the UFC. Let's go, man. We are already in. 1 fight in, so... obviously, we are going to pick a contract bonus that is, like, decent. Win by KO 3 times. I don't know about that one yet. Exit the fight without an injury. I don't really trust myself on that one. Complete by 2 stoppages. All right, I might do... What is this one? 50K fans. All right, we're gonna win 3 fights in a row, man. And this whole series is going to be, like, completely candid, transparent. I'm not going to, like, if I lose a fight, like, you guys are just going to have to trust me. I will post it if we lose it. So I'm not going to, like... Yeah, this is going to be... This career mode is just for helping you guys out. Of course, me having a good time with it. But there's really no reason for me to, like, try to go absolutely undefeated. If we lose, we lose. You know, it just allows us to know where to focus on. So Coach Davis is here, man. You said you wanted all the smoke once you signed with the UFC. Now you got it. Tony Ferguson? Already? All right, let's go, man. I mean, that's going to be tough, bro, because we're going to have to stay off the freaking ground, man. Our submission defense is absolutely horrendous at this point. We're not rated or ranked, and we're fighting Tony Ferguson, man, coming up for you guys. So, first UFC fight for Tony Ferguson. Let's go, man. I'm probably going to do throughout. Obviously, we're gonna hype it up, and I'm going to fast forward this part, but... you know, we're going to go 2nd round knockout. But what I'm going to be focusing on throughout the training camp, just because we are fighting Ferguson, is going to be a little bit of the ground game. I'm going to focus on wrestling. We're probably going to be focusing on, like, maybe takedown defense. So that's going to be kind of our main goal going into the training camp. And you know what? I might save this for the next video. Let's save the Tony Ferguson fight for the next video. I know I kind of spoiled it for you guys, but go check it out, man. The next video, if it's not out now, it's going to be out, like, the next day. So go check it out, man. And we're going to continue where we left off, fighting Ferguson, going through our training camp, hoping that, you know, we can really sculpt our fighter to handle Tony Ferguson as the first UFC fight. So anyway, guys, if you do enjoy this stuff, like the content, man, hit the thumbs up, sub to the channel, bro, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.